In the first half of the 20th century, writers like Forster, Orwell, and Auden wrote about racial discrimination, even if this issue was not so pervasive as in the second half of the 20th century, because difficult relations between the British and other non-European races were in a colonial context, where the few non-whites were always subordinated to British control.
Vincent Hogg Auden was the youngest son of a doctor. He was born in York in 1907 and educated at Christ Church College. Between 1930 and the outbreak of World War II in 1939, Auden spent time traveling and living intense experiences which were directly reflected in his writings. He lived for some time in the pre-Hitler Berlin. In 1935 he went to Iceland with fellow writers Louis MacNeice, a literary and cultural trip which produced their joint Letters from Iceland. In 1937 he married Erika Mann, daughter of the German novelist Thomas Mann, to give her British nationality so that she could escape from Nazi Germany. Auden also went to Spain in 1937 during the Civil War to serve as an ambulance driver on the Republic side. In 1938, Auden went to China with Isherwood to follow the China-Japan War. He also wrote his sonnets from China. In 1946, Auden became an American citizen. One of his most important poems is Refugee Blues. That is a good example of Auden's political and social commitment put into an originally modern form. He uses the blues tradition, which developed among the black people of the United States and has its origin in slave song.
See, this city has 10 million souls. There are living in mansions, some are living in holes. Yet there is no place for us, my dear, yet there is no place for us. Once we had a country and we thought it fair. Look in the atlas and you'll find it there. We cannot go there now, my dear, we cannot go there now. In the village churchyard there grows an old yew. Every spring it blossoms anew. Old passport can't do that, my dear, old passport can't do that. The consul banged the table and said, if you got no passport, you are officially dead. But we're still alive, my dear, but we're still alive. Went to a committee, they offer me a chair, ask me politely to return next year. But where shall we go today, my dear? But where shall we go today? Came to a public meeting, the speaker go up and said, if we let them in, they will steal our daily bread. He was talking of you and me, my dear. He was talking of you and me. Thought I heard the thunder rumbling in the sky. It was Hitler over Europe saying, they must die. Oh, we were in his mind, my dear, oh, we were in his mind. Saw a puddle in a jacket fastened with a pin. Saw a door open and cat let in. But they weren't German Jews, my dear, but they weren't German Jews. We down the harbor and stood upon quay. Saw the fish swimming as if they were free. Only 10 feet away, my dear, only 10 feet away. Walked through a wood, saw the birds in the trees. They had no politicians and sang at their easy. They weren't the human race, my dear, they weren't the human race. Dreaming, I saw a building with 1,000 floors, 1,000 windows and 1,000 doors. Not one of them was ours, my dear, not one of them was ours. Stood on a great plain in the falling snow, 10,000 soldiers marched to and fro, looking for you and me, my dear.
Martin Luther King was born in Atlanta, Georgia, in 1929. He pursued a theological education and also studied the works of Gandhi, the apostle of nonviolence. In 1954, he became the minister of a small Negro church in Montgomery. Here, he carried out the first nonviolent protest against racial discrimination in support of Rosa Parks, a black woman who had been arrested in Alabama for sitting in a whites-only section of a public bus. Soon he became famous and gave a positive turning point to the Black Freedom Movement. In 1962, he met President John Kennedy to ask support for the movement. And in 1963, Martin Luther King led a great peaceful march for civil rights to Washington. There were about 250,000 people. It was the most famous March for Freedom, where people heard him present his speech, "I Have a Dream." In 1964, he received the Nobel Prize for Peace. He continued his campaigns in favor of black people until 1968, when he was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee.
Mandela was born in 1918 in Umtata, a part of South Africa. He was a South Africa anti-apartheid revolutionary, politician and philanthropist.
While Mandela is arrested, he is accused, together the ANC, of terrorism. At the Rivania's process, Mandela delivers the famous speech, "I am prepared to die," that is a vindication of civil rights of South Africans to oppose against a racist government. He dreams a democratic and free society, in which all people live together with harmony, where all people are equal. He hopes to live for this dream, and if it will need, he is prepared to die to realize it. When Nelson Mandela was released by jail on Sunday, 11th February 1990, he was 71 and a half. And he was not a broken man after 27 years of jail, but to Mandela, called Madiba by people who won the Nobel Prize, the life was starting that day.
Nelson Mandela became President of South Africa in 1994 until 2013, when he died.